recording. Hopefully everything's right. The Page Turners. Chainsaw Man. Chapters 22 through 27. Death everywhere. Everybody's gone. Nobody makes it. People are chopped in half. It goes from... We literally, if you're watching the episode before this, we were totally looking at, like, inappropriate behavior, relationships, love, throw up, drinking. Maybe that was in a different order. Flip and reverse that, like a Missy Elliott song. But, folks, we were, like, experiencing joy. It was a successful mission. They were trying to team bond. Everything was everything. And then it turned into an episode of The Sopranos. It turned into The Godfather Part 2. It definitely got very mafioso in the way that a lot of people
into the wedding.
Yeah, oh, Red Wedding. 100% Red Wedding. It was a lot of death and destruction. I'm Baron J67.
And I am Walt Lando.
We are the Page Turners, where we are currently reading through a bunch of mangas and we want to sit down and talk about it. And we want you guys to hear our conversation. And we would actually like to engage with you guys too in the comments below. But yes, Chainsaw Man. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go on a slight rant because this is that moment where in the manga everything shifted up even more so. And I didn't even think that was possible because it was already gritty. It was already visceral. It was already bloody. It was already sad. It had so many emotions already. But then to these, I don't even know, 22, I don't know, what is that, 6 chapters?
27?
Yeah. 22 to 27. I can't count. 22, 23, 24,
22
25,
to 27.
26, 27. 6 chapters.
You got it.
I got it, right? Right. Got it. I'm going to tell you. Absolute pivot. And it was jarring in a good way. It wasn't like, oh, hey, yay. No. It felt like a good progression. It didn't feel like it was out of place. That's what I want to say. But okay. So I'm being dramatic, but not really. A lot of people die.
Pretty much everyone but 2 people died.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah,
up to 27 from what I could see. You only people who lived out of 3 people. 3 people lived. No, you're right. Aki and Makima. They're the only people alive right now.
Well, okay, yeah, correction.
Yeah.
So the people that survived were majorly if they were either in a contract or they were a fiend. In this case,
yeah.
Power. And
oh yeah, I'm sorry. Power is alive. I totally
Power
forgot about Power.
However, everyone was attempted against. So after they finished, Denji finished the whole situation with Himeno. Himeno did admit, if I had made a move on you, I would have been arrested.
Yeah, like, oh, you're so a kid. She said it. Yeah, she said it. She definitely addressed the situation.
She gets it.
Yeah.
She just put some alcohol into his mouth, but that's it. She didn't do anything.
In the weirdest ways possible.
Exactly.
But what was super trippy, not super trippy, but what came out was that Himeno likes Aki. Now I'm jumping back, guys. After I gave my rant, we're jumping completely back to chapter 22. There, Denji and Himeno basically make a pact. They become friends. They're no longer senior and an employee. They're friends now because now they're working. Himeno is trying to get Makima to be with Denji. And then Denji is supposed to help Aki get with Himeno.
Right. They're wingmans, or both.
Yeah,
wingmans.
they make a friendship. Yeah, let's get each other hooked
a
up.
little truce.
Yeah,
And they go along with it.
it doesn't last long.
They have a nice conversation. They have a long conversation. Some flashbacks goes on. You know, Himeno remembers the same type of flashback we've been getting with her and Aki, of her wanting him to stay away from his mission because he'll get killed, and how she wants him to survive by any means because he'll be able to mourn her if anything happens to her. What she says, like, I want you to cry for me if anything happens to her. After all of that, we get everyone from the team: Akima, the dude that helped Denji, barfing, Kobeni, the other dude. There's like a bunch of dudes that we didn't get really like too acquainted with. And they're all setting on their paths. They're doing devil hunter shit and all this. And specifically one that stood out, because this is where one of the chapters ended. I think it was 22 or 23. Makima and the Afro guy, Afro-haired guy, the one that helped Denji. They were in the train, talking about what they're gonna do next. They're on their way to Kyoto to head to the headquarters, and everyone in the train hides from frame. Everyone's like, they just disappear.
Like ninjas. It straight up was like a Naruto episode.
Just go into stealth mode, and what they show is that they're all gearing up with guns, and they all unload on Makima and Afro guy.
Like full on. And you just see him slumped. Like
and they just keep bow, 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 bow.
Yeah, bro. It was wild. I was sitting there.
It's ominous even more because in the anime, that scene, there's no sound. You just hear the rustling, like the movement of the seat, and then you just see everyone hide, and then there's no sound. And then there's no sound for a while, just pans on Makima's face as the train's going, and then you see a barrel in the reflection, and that's how it starts.
They
go all out.
I think the one thing that also caught me off guard about this, and the next chapter, well, no, not the next chapter, like a couple chapters later, you find out that, or no, is it the next chapter where you where you see that Makima's not dead.
Nope.
They don't show what she does. And I don't know if that's the way in the anime, but in the manga, they don't show what she does.
They don't show it.
Okay, but you just see giant holes, like
in everyone's chest.
In everyone's chest, and then you just see Makima like deadpan face with blood on her shirt, not even all over, just on her shirt, like walking out the train, and she meets up with two people from the agency, which was funny because the two people from the agency, they get a call and they're very robotic, like to a point to where I thought they were like clones or something, the way they were almost communicating about the scenario.
Very corporate.
Yeah, like, oh man, we waited here this whole time for because they were waiting for Makima to meet up with her to get off the train. They don't tell you, I don't think they say what it's exactly about, but they're waiting for Makima. And when they get off, or before the train pulls up, they're like, oh, so Makima's dead? Who told them Makima died? That's what I want to know.
So I if anything, the people were communicating that they had killed Makima. And then nothing was ever relayed because they got killed by Makima after they had told. Because and how they show it in the anime is they're talking in the radio, the bad guys in this game.
Got it.
And they just show Makima stand up in the background. Like, it's really like, oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
And it shows the holes in the they're perfect holes, like they're perfect circles.
Yeah.
I assume it's her devil contract, whatever she does. But when she gets picked up, she gives them some orders to go elsewhere, which eventually they do talk about that more. But as they got killed, they go to Denji, Power, Aki, and Himeno that are eating, and they show a dude rambling, eating ramen on the side, and he's like talking gibberish and talking about how like philosophy. He's being very like existential, and it's like he's gonna pull out the gun, but then he just pulls out a picture and shows it to Denji and Power, and it's a picture of the Yakuza boss that took Denji in. And apparently this is his grandson.
Grandson.
His grandson, and he's out to get revenge against Denji because Denji killed his grandpa. You know, this guy's also Yakuza, so it's not like he doesn't know what his grandpa did.
It's crazy that all of this stemmed not from devil hunting, but from Denji saving himself.
Yep.
That's all this, because remember, Denji got killed back when all this happened.
Yep.
Denji got horribly killed. Like,
and he didn't kill the old guy. He was already kind of dead from the zombie.
It's a trip that Denji probably like saved humanity, and all of this happened as a result of that, due to misunderstanding.
Doesn't do anything like with ill intent.
No,
and he keeps getting in trouble.
And it was so wild that they pulled something from the very first chapter.
Yeah.
Like we're 27 chapters in, and they pulled something that I mean, I'm not gonna say all anime, but there's a good chunk of anime that don't often touch on like
the first enemy.
That random enemy. Yeah, except like
it's like
Dragon Ball.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Raditz kind of like ceased to exist, I think. Like after that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like Raditz, that the only anime that has done that. I mean, that I've seen.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a bunch, but
there's a bunch of, but like notable ones. I think that One Piece does it, because like the first like kind of enemy that you meet, they keep reappearing throughout the entire show.
True.
But most notably, which one is recently? Naruto didn't have one. Naruto was the white hair guy that.
Yeah, he was a ninja. Yeah.
Tried to steal the Shadow Clone Jutsu scroll, and then he got. But then he was back, but for like one episode, and I think it was filler. Like it wasn't even. But this one, listen, I like to think that we're out of the phase where shonen's pace is garbage, because it used to be where Naruto, the big three, you know, Dragon Ball, so you would take years to do any like significant progress in the story. But in this one, you know, I mean, Tatsuki, again, Chainsaw Man is an outlier, because Chainsaw Man is like, this guy is a genius. The author is a genius, not only with Chainsaw Man, but with Fire Punch, and also with Goodbye Eri and Look Back, and he's just a beast. He's a beast. But I think that not only did they bring back the first enemy, or first kind of like antagonist, or for the first episode, because it's also in the anime, it's the first episode. The first episode is only the first chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, they cover.
I still haven't watched it.
It ends up with Makima finding him, the first episode. But the way that they introduce him, it kind of doesn't focus so much on him as a villain, but the fact that he's working for the Gun Devil. So the way that they established it is that they all have guns. The way that they acquire the guns is because they made a deal with people that work for the Gun Devil. So it appears that the Gun Devil can make guns, I think.
That is definitely how it seems.
And the more you use guns, you know, kind of simple when you put it like gun bad, people scare. Obviously, the more you fear it, the stronger he gets, and the more like reasons he has. That's why when you have when they talk about where the Gun Devil has the most casualties, it's unfortunately places like the U.S.
Yeah.
Places like the Middle East, places where there's a lot of revolutions because people need guns or want guns, so it's interesting how they're all kind of like it all always goes back to the Gun Devil, and it's interesting how even though that's the case, you do meet one person specifically that's working with the grandson. That is the one that's tied to the Gun Devil, but also like it makes you think more. And this is, I don't know if they show her
Solitary or
Snake, something about Snake.
I thought her name was Solitary.
Is that the girl with the hoodie? Yeah, her. Okay. So okay, because I'm like starting to overlap the anime and the manga in my mind.
Yeah.
But
she does have like snake eyes now that you mention it.
Yeah, she's like and she's like very, very calm about everything. But yeah, the dude reveals his intentions and shoots at Denji, hits him in the head. Power rushes to him, attacks him, tries to, kick his ass, but then she can't. And then Aki does the big dog, doggo thing, and eats him, quote unquote. And then it's revealed that the grandson is Katana-man. I saw a meme that was Chainsaw fans be like, and it's like a dude with a hammer head and a dude with like a knife head and like fighting, and Chainsaw fans be like, oh, this is the best arc ever. It's just dudes with goofy, like in premise it's like goofy, but then the fights are brutal.
And it seems corny if you just said it out loud. This, I'm gonna be 100%. I think I said it when we first started reading Chainsaw Man. I thought I didn't want to get into it or care about it because I thought it was gonna be cheesy. I thought it was gonna be extremely over the top campy. But it like turned out to be one of the best things I've read. But funny enough, one of the frames, if you don't if you don't really look, it's like right when Denji gets shot in the head. And it's crazy because chapter 22 is still dealing with the aftermath of the bar and the party and the potential almost hookup. And then 23, everybody's dying. Or everybody's getting killed. It's fast. But
not rushed.
Right, not rushed. There's a frame where it looks like right as Aki's getting shot and Power and everybody, it almost looked like Aki got his arm blown off. If you didn't really pay attention to it. But the thing that it's funny how Power kind of got pushed to the side because Aki wanted Power to go and save Himeno. And I feel like you don't really see Power for the next few chapters, unless there was something I missed. Like after he says go save Himeno, Himeno, you kind of don't see her
to stop her bleeding. And because the rest of the chapter is a big fight between Aki and Katana-man, and Katana-man, and it's a pretty dope fight. Definitely have to watch the anime. The anime, it goes hard. But then they show Power like with Himeno on her lap, like cause I think she's bleeding. And I'm also like going over it because I believe they show Himeno's devil.
Yes, the full on
the ghost. Like it's like a ghost type deal. There's a specific panel that it's like straight out of like a what you would call it, like a Final Fantasy Last Form type deal where like Katana-man is being held by like these two skulls on his shoulders and there's like a rib cage around him. And
so was that from what I saw, was that Aki using that forbidden power that Himeno didn't want him to use, or was that Himeno? Was that the snake worm lady from Himeno?
That was.
Do you know what I'm talking? Because remember, there was an ability. Like she was like, "No, don't do it." When they were trying to get away from the Eternity Devil,
right?
I think that was the ability. Oh yeah, the curse. Yeah, curse finish it.
Yeah, I just looked at that. So curse finish it. And it's at 0.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that goes as the one that Himeno uses, and he's just like borrowing it, I believe.
Because remember, what did they mention? Was it Himeno or was it Makima that told Denji about the ability he has that takes away years off his life or something?
Yeah, okay. I believe it's that one then. And also the fact that there is more talk about that, about the lifespan situation. He has like a little talk with his dog, wolf devil, I believe. But in this fight, they're throwing hands. There's this one move the Katana-man does that he like gears up and his like swords are like to the side and he like crouches and then he just appears behind Aki. But he just slashed it. It's the classic swordsman slash. And I can't wait to keep reading it because I know I've seen more clips of the anime and it gets really intense. It gets really like brutal. And it remains brutal.
That's what I was about to say. This is already very brutal. Now, okay. So we're jumping around. You know, ultimately we get to see, and this is one thing that threw me off, but it seems every person with a devil contract tends to have multiple abilities. Makima has an ability that you really don't know what's going on, but she kills people in an extremely different way than she killed them on the train. And that's what stood out to me. She first off has everybody blindfolded.
Yes. Yeah. So the people she has blindfolded. So what she asked the corporate guys is, "Hey, I need death row inmates."
Yeah.
And she gets a whole bunch of them, and she blindfolds them and puts them on their knees, and she starts doing some witchcraft.
Yeah. It gets wicked.
Devilcraft.
Yeah.
Somehow she can kill an inmate and then kill someone that she wants. So when she starts doing this, the fight, we'll get to that one again. The fight with Aki and Katana-man, it stopped for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
During all that, Himeno kept sacrificing parts of her body to her ghost devil to help Aki. And like her arm disappears.
Bro.
And her other arm disappears. Her legs disappear.
Is it just as sad in the show?
It's so sad.
Like do they do the Naruto flute?
Oh yeah, they go hard.
Bro. When I tell you, looking at those panels, like I said, guys, I'm jumping around. I apologize. But seeing Himeno try to, because the whole thing was, without her saying it, clearly Himeno wanted to die before Aki. Like, she never said that, but she did say she wanted him to cry for her.
Mm-hmm.
So
she was over crying for so many of her apprentices. She's like, "Hey, man, like I need someone to mourn me." And she's been through so much. I assume she's like pretty tired of everything. And as she's summoning the entire power of the ghost devil, and the ghost devil is powered up, the lady that we're introduced to that's working with the gun devil, I believe, and it has the snake eyes, summons a snake and eats in one bite the ghost devil, instantly killing the ghost devil.
So Himeno.
So that meant nothing.
Yeah, it meant nothing.
All that power up, all that sacrifice, she was gone. she's gone.
Bro, I knew something horrible was gonna happen when the opening drawing for chapter 25 was Himeno laying down or standing up, laying down. It looks like she's laying down in a bed of flowers and then holding a bunch of flowers. Now, I bet you it gets even deeper because who knows what those flowers stand for. But the chapter is called Ghost, Snake, and Chainsaw.
Yeah. And what's so badass is to that same, the ghost, massive, then gets eaten by the snake. And then as Aki is like, oh my God, what's going on? And Katana-man is seeing everything unfold. You see a remnant, a hand of the ghost doing one last thing. And you see it creeping towards Denji. And then it grabs the string and it goes, rum.
Bro.
Whoa. That's
welcome
like,
because folks, if the ghost hand last mission to wake up Denji by basically giving him a Chainsaw Man version of like CPR, if the hand didn't rev up Denji's chest, they would have just all been like, that would have been it for them. They would have got what they wanted. It would have been no fight, no, like, it would have, yeah. Ooh-wee.
So Himeno, like, it worked out because I think if she hadn't sacrificed that much, she wouldn't have been able to do that last little act of grace, I guess. And to that same point, you know, Katana-man gears up, and Denji is full Chainsaw Man. And they throw down, and it's a good fight, and it's a pretty brutal fight. And like all brutal fights, Denji loses.
Denji loses. It's definitely that whole trope of like knockdown and then here comes the power of friendship type business. But it's not like, that's a cheap way of describing it. But
there ain't no friendship.
There is no friendship. That's what I was about to say. There is no friendship. But
it's that same vibe. But then there's no friendship to help them. They go at it, and not only that, they go at it, but then he has his goons come in, the Katana-man's goons coming in, and trying to kill Denji. But funny enough, Denji doesn't kill them. Denji knocks them out. He only wants to kill Katana-man.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to kill other humans. He doesn't want them to feel the pain of a chainsaw.
Can we discuss how ugly that snake is?
It's like hands.
Yeah, it's super.
Is that something we can show, or is that like?
I wouldn't. Like, yeah,
we won't Tatsuki. We won't Shonen.
Yeah, like I.
But that's look up Chainsaw Man, Snake Devil.
Yeah,
it's gross.
It's gross as hell.
It's weird. It's like pointy.
Yeah, it looks like it's what I would imagine a dune worm looks like at like hatching.
Right.
Like
around.
Yeah, like I imagine this is what like an infant dune worm looks like. Ugly, narrow, but then the snake lady is just so calm.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. She knows what she is. She knows she's nasty.
Oh my god.
And like as these two are fighting, like Katana-man doesn't give a crap. He slices right through Genji and and his henchmen.
So Katana-man, and I don't think they address it at least in these chapters. Katana-man is like Denji.
In what sense? In the where the things come out of?
Like fused with the devil.
Oh. Well, yeah, I think also
because he was very humanistic, and then he transformed.
Have we met another weapon devil?
At this
wonder
point,
if there's like the gun devil. I assume he has like a lot of guns sticking out of him.
A part of me hopes he's like not that cheesy looking.
I feel like he's gonna be like It's gonna be like the two form thing where it's like, oh, normal human, but then it's like gross.
Yeah,
Like Lady D from Resident Evil, where it's like, oh, I'm just a tall lady, and then it's like nasty,
dragging out your crotch. But yeah,
legit.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. But I think what has it been? 2 years? You had enough time. No. But no. I based on what I've read and the way it went down, it clearly wasn't a fiend, because we've seen multiple fiends up to this point. Like we've seen the cockroach dude, Power. I want to say we've seen like 2 other ones. Oh, the zombie fiend, the Yakuza dudes. They were basically fiends.
Right.
We've seen fiends.
Yeah.
But this is a weapon man.
He sure is. I mean, it's like kind of like I wonder if it's, there's a katana devil, and then he's like, hey, can I have your power? And he's like, okay, I'll give you this to do. Because I think the devil can like tell you what you're gonna be able to do, and then you'll do it. It's not like there's only one power they have.
Yeah.
If it's like a ghost devil, it's like, oh, you'll be able to reach far places, or instead of that, you'll be able to peek through walls. I don't know. Mind you, this fight, it ends and whatnot, and Denji is like, quote unquote dead, but he doesn't die because he's a fiend.
Yeah.
And I think he's unkillable unless you kill the heart, which is Pochita. We were established this in the first chapter. But then after this happens, and they're like, hey, let's pack things up. Aki's defeated, Power's defeated, everyone's defeated.
Everybody's beat up.
Everyone's beat up. Then they jump to the Makima train where she's dead, quote unquote, and then she stands up, and then she does the whole thing, and then she's like, I need death row inmates.
What was dope is Makima had to be the first domino to fall. Whoever this the Gun Devil organization clearly understands that Makima is powerful, because Sawatari, or the Snake Lady, I hate butchering people's names, so I'm gonna just say the Snake Lady. She clearly says, like, y'all took down Makima, right? They get to a point where, and I think I'm jumping ahead again, where people just start dying.
They show that before they show her doing the power.
Yes.
Yeah, they show like them packing up, and then a dude just implodes and like gets squished by gravity.
Yeah.
And there's only blood in his clothing on the floor.
Bro, and it reminded me of what's that one? I don't think I ever watched the movie. I believe it was a movie where the dude is just like pointing at the screen. Bang.
Oh, Inuyashiki.
Yeah. That's what it reminded me of.
Great manga.
Yeah. I think we did talk about how I need to read that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And you just see people just imploding, squishing, like it's just the absolute
with no source.
No, like and then that's when Snake Lady was like, you guys took out Makima, right? And it just continues. It's just relentless.
She's like, there's only one person that can do this.
Yeah.
That can be this powerful. And then it shows Makima on a temple with blindfolded death row inmates and
blindfolded agents. Tendo and,
as well.
What are their names? Tendo and I forgot the other guy's name. Tendo is the girl, and then Kurose.
Yep. And then she's doing hand stuff.
Yeah, she looks like she's weaving jutsus.
And she's like doing like some jutsu stuff, and like some the seller's like when she does this, and then she like does like a squishy motion, and then she says a name, and a grunt dies. But then the name she utters is the grunt's name. But then it's like, in order to kill them, she needs to kill an inmate from afar. I don't know how her power works. They don't explain it.
Yeah. And what's wild, right, is with the radio call, she was like, have Team C reconfirm Makima's death. Like, and then you just bam.
Squish. And it's like, there's like a moment of them like, boom. And then, boom.
But did you notice their clothes are clean?
Oh.
Yeah, like if you go and look, like folks, when you go and look at the people getting squished, and it's funny because Denji's body's all sawed in half. Oh yeah, I don't think we explained that. Denji gets samurai shampooed, swift cut in half.
Like and he gets dragged away.
Yeah,
but with his heart intact, it's the snake lady told Katana-man. But yeah, he gets sliced alongside one of the henchmen.
That woman.
It's brutal.
And that's a killer scene, dude. Like, I'm probably gonna run that as like part of the thumbnail.
Just the upper torso.
That scene, bro. No, not Denji cut in half. The scene with Makima, like with all the prisoners, like that panel is sick.
Just her, like
yeah,
pick her and like put her like with the hand gestures,
bro.
She's like from a gang,
and they kind of go into detail about why everybody's blindfolded. What did they say? Yeah. That nobody's authorized to know what devil she has a contract with.
Yeah, for you to know her devil contract and who it is, they need high clearance, and it's something that only the higher ups can do. So, in short, no one except the people in Kyoto.
So I wonder, because once again, folks, they don't explain her power, but you see that she gets each inmate to say a name, and then an individual enemy dies. So what was weird was, or what made me want to, like, because you don't know, is she saying a random name? Is she saying the name of the people who she's trying to kill? Like, it, from what I understand, it does not, there is no explanation up to this point. And it was extremely wild that, and then she's just deadpan the whole time. Like, no,
I don't think we've seen her do any emotions aside from a slight smile all show. Like, she just smiles when she's like, oh, flattered, but she doesn't blush. She doesn't, like, when Denji, because they have that's one thing we didn't mention, but Denji's first official kiss was an indirect kiss because Makima gave him his like lollipop, and she was like, oh, because I know you want your first kiss to be special. Your indirect one was kind of like, she said, the flavor.
Yeah.
So he doesn't feel as bad, and Denji's easily persuaded. He's a child in the mind.
And then he kept the lollipop for.
He kept the lollipop. He's
a
little weirdo, but he's our weirdo. He's
our neighborhood weirdo.
Denji's wild. That's a wild protagonist. He is, because here's the thing. Denji's perverted, right? However, the way that he's written doesn't make it annoying, unlike a Seven Deadly Sins Meliodas, where his pervertedness comes off as untasteful, distasteful, whatever the word is. And it's borderline, like, kind of concerning, because it's like, are you...
Excuse me.
Bless you. Are you like a predator or something?
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, Meliodas definitely 1,000%. Because I never read Seven Deadly Sins, but just watching the Netflix.
Yeah, he's a creep.
He's 100% creep. Almost to a point to where it almost changed in my head. It like changes the genre of the anime. Like I would definitely move it away from like shonen or seinen or
edgy.
Whatever. Yeah, almost to it, bro. Like it definitely, because of how much it happens.
Yeah, I'd say, and then also like I've read more of it, what comes afterwards, and I think if you take season 1 and part of season 2 Meliodas out and just keep everything else, it's like a more decent character.
Yeah.
And the reason we compare it because it's a shonen. I think Denji is like the best, horrible choice of word, but best written pervert. Because who else? Like, there you have characters with pervert moments. Like,
I think I
wouldn't even say like Denji's a pervert. He's just like desperate because he hasn't felt any of the things that he's been feeling because he's been killing devils since he was a kid and starving every day. But like, I think, there is one person, there's one singular person that I can think of. I haven't seen Bleach, but Luffy has absolutely no moment where he's like a perv.
Yeah, that is true.
I think they've made it a point. Not, I don't know if it's been said, but I think some people speculate that he may be asexual or like borderline asexual, because he like there's some moments where he's like showing the goods and he's chilling. He's like, nah, I don't feel anything. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean,
but
he's
like
got
with Denji's
Hancock all over him, and it doesn't
matter.
No,
bro. Yeah. But then Hancock is like, oh, I love you, Luffy. And Luffy's like, I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. It's like with the most beautiful woman in the world.
Like literally known as
the most beautiful woman in the world, literally turns you to stone, and you're like, I appreciate you, but I'm good.
I'm good.
I mean, I respect the hustle. But Denji's he's so chill when he wants to be, because he can be very crude. He's like I'd say a more tolerable Bakugo, you know, like at times.
Yeah, he does. No, you're right, because he gets very there's moment. You know what? He's like a mix of I can't believe I forgot
what anime?
Jujutsu Kaisen's main character's name.
Itadori?
Yeah, he's like Itadori and Bakugo and Child Called It, like all wrapped into one, because you have those moments where, and it's funny, his dream, like that whole when he first like fought Aki, his dreams, he's like, no, this is worth, like, no matter how stupid it is, it's worth fighting and dying for, like right now. So that reminds me of like Itadori, like just that getting all extra serious, and then all of a sudden you go from laughing, joking, and running around with Gojo and doing stupid stuff to like eyes get tight and he's like ready to kill for anything.
And it's interesting how Fujimoto has succeeded in making a character that can go from goofy to serious in a way that doesn't feel tropey. Because usually when a protagonist like Goku, he's like, oh, family, training, and then it's like, don't face my friends. And it's like, you can see where he ends.
Get out there, Krillin, sacrifice yourself. So
you can tell where he starts being goofy and where he ends being goofy. Where Denji is like, it's like he's like a person. He just fluctuates, you know? There's no moment where like, oh, he went goofy here. No, he's just him 100% of the time.
And I love how he has reactions that not seem out of place, but catch me off guard. Like even I go back to him and Aki fighting in the alleyway. Yeah. I didn't expect that, because you know, you read enough, you see enough, and you think things are gonna follow a certain trope, and that was one that definitely caught me off guard. But then even in what was that? What was the moment? When he talks about his reasons for fighting.
Yeah.
Like that's always wild as hell. Like when he was getting ready to fight the katana devil, or the sword devil. What do we call him? Is he the katana devil?
Katana. I see like one of the areas is like Katana-man, Katana-man. I think Katana-man like
is more accurate.
If there's a moment that Denji throws that, like, because it's like, oh, the katana dude or whatever, you know.
I forget exactly what he said, but he gave like a out of the realm reason for why he was gonna fight him. Right when he
Denji.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, what he talks about, it's like a whole existential thing.
Yeah.
Before he's like pulls out the picture. Yeah. And then he attacks, and then power and the whole thing, which we mentioned, ensues, which is it's a nice scene in the anime. It's really nice.
See, guys,
it's really nice.
I gotta. Okay, so where do we end off?
Let me see. The final panel is honestly just Makima.
I'm returning to Tokyo.
Ready to kill everyone.
Yeah. So with 27, from what I see, is she's after everybody dies, after all the prisoners are dead, it makes you think that she can't kill anymore. And then the snake lady finally shows emotion. She's like completely horrified.
She's like, oh man,
it's only her and another dude alive. And you just see Makima saying like, okay, you can remove your blindfolds now to Tendo and Kurose. And she's like, all right, I finished what I can do from here. I'm returning to Tokyo. Deadpan. Next chapter.
He never shows emotions.
Never. I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm doing everything in my power not to like, because we talk about this all the time, damn near every episode. I binge read. I can binge read like nobody's business. I binge listen to audiobooks. I can binge read like crazy. It's taking a lot. Like, thank God I picked up Pokemon, because now I put myself to sleep trying to catch them all instead of trying to read.
It's tough. It's tough because it's a bingeable series.
Yeah, and it flows so well. I'm thinking the next episode will like cover the rest of the season. Because I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it until I read it. And I know that's kind of weird, but that's just me.
I think I've seen it, the anime, and I want to talk about how we leave off. I think once we finish talking about to where the anime covers, maybe we could just read all the way towards the entirety of part 1, and then just wait until the anime comes out and then talk about the anime. But although this is the page turns, we cover the manga, because I don't want people to
associate us with the anime. Like, it's relevant. We're not completely.
There's more manga.
We're gonna read a lot of the manga.
And there's more manga to cover too, because like there's always new stuff coming out. There's the one I mentioned with Tokyo Ghoul's creator Chojin X. There's stuff like what was it? I mean, even Jujutsu Kaisen. We could read ahead.
And then it should be a lot of chapters with Kaiju number 8. Like, there's so much stuff we could go to. There's so much to read. I know
Aliens Area.
Yeah, Aliens Area. We got plenty of stuff we need to read. And I'm 100% down for it. I just Chainsaw Man is just so good. Like,
bro, it's so good.
It's so good, and it's just so deep, and like I love being surprised. I've talked about this before, and I'll keep saying it. I love being surprised. I love being caught off guard when it comes to reading, movies, music, like all of that. I love being caught off guard. It's because I read so much, because I listen to so many books. Well, now it's more so listening to audiobooks. I listen to so many that I forget that I ran through series. Like, and I'm like, oh yeah, here's a recommendation. Like, I think I'm almost up to like 3 months worth of listening time in audiobooks. Like, I think I have like a library of like 190 something books. Like, it's crazy. Don't let me have any free time, because I'll burn through it. But my point is, there's a lot out there. We want to make sure that we're not just Chainsaw Man show. But it just, I'm sorry, Chainsaw Man is that damn good.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll keep covering it. We don't, even if the anime is not out, hey, if you want to talk about, we'll cover it.
Oh yeah. What I'm thinking, and we're literally planning out loud with you guys. What I'm thinking is we'll read so many chapters past the anime. And we'll be able to talk for those who, either just want to see where it's supposed to go. Because it's funny, you always hope that the anime is going to follow the manga, but that's not always the case. So, we can read ahead and we can sit here and talk and laugh and cry.
Yeah, a little book club.
Yeah, so book club, page turners.
We'll read 10 chapters and, we'll come here and talk about it. And if you want to read alongside us and see what we think, and we'll try to expand upon it, because I try to not just go, they fought, pretty cool. And it's like,
let's get into it, because it's good stuff. There's a lot of love into this, and then because we can't legally show you what we're looking at, we have to do our best to try. Yeah, right. We have to do our best to really try to express and explain what's happening. And I feel like we do a pretty good job. And let us know below if there's something you want to see a little different. Maybe if you want a little more descriptors, less descriptors. If you want more linear, because I know I like to jump around just because of the way, So just let us know, because once again we look at a lot of content. But yes. We are at the final moments. I am Baron J67.
And I don't know who I am. I am Walt.
Where can they find you, Walt?
Right here in this room. You can find me in the DualShock and Sense podcast every Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe this weekend... I might be incorrect, but I think we're doing a spoiler cast for God of War Ragnarok. Ooh. I think. If not that, it will be... No, we already did... Last week, we did our top 10 games that we played in 2022. Not that they released. We played in 2022.
Backlog.
So there's games... So, for example, one of my games is Chrono Trigger. But where is that on? You need to find out. Go check out the episode. Also, Macho and I, one of my co-hosts, started to cover the Last of Us show. We did it on Sunday right after the episode, but we not only always do it on Sunday. We might do it on Monday or Tuesday, but we're starting to cover it and do a little review reaction with that. So catch us doing that every week for the next 8 weeks, because it's a 9-episode show, I believe. There's a lot of good stuff to talk about there. Stay tuned for Final Fantasy Fridays with Macho when he streams that at times. I am considering, this is not, don't hold me to this. I'm considering streaming Dead Space Remake when it comes out. As I am hyped. I played Dead Space, the OG, last year for the first time, and it's one of my favorite games ever. I'm looking forward to this remake. But yeah, you can catch me doing all that. You can catch me here in Page Turners, and whenever I upload a piece, have been more into videography than I have into writing in the last couple of months. But yeah, you can find me doing that, and check the great stuff in Level 1 Gaming, where we cover everything. From sneakers to games.
Like it's so much that goes on at LV1 Gaming. So yes, make sure if you made it this far and you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps us out. That little button you click means the world to us. But yes, Baron J67, everywhere Baron J67. Thank you guys for being here on this journey with us. This is chapter... What chapter are we on?
22 through 27.
No. I'm talking about, like, episodes. Is this the 10th episode?
Episodes? This is... I think so. It's been, like, 2-3 months almost?
Yeah, so, damn. Guys, it's been real. Peace!